everybody doing today? Today I want to start. So before I start my videos, I'm gonna start doing Bible quotes before each of my videos now. So today's Bible quote is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Amen. Now let's hop into today's video. So I did the entire AFC, the entire AFC. I did the entire AFC. So from 2000 all the way to 2026. Notice two things. From 2002 through 2019 has been heavy AFC East with the Patriots dynasty. You notice that, right? Remember, like I said before, the AFC is very different from the NFC. Very different. It's been nothing but Patriots. So South, North, East, West, East, East, North, South, East, North, South, North, East, North again, West, South, West. Well, not South. East, 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 West, East, 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 West, West, North, West, 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 East. Yeah. And since 2020 through 2026 has been heavy AFC West, the Chiefs dynasty. You notice that, right? So instead of a perfect rotation, the AFC tends to follow this one rule. One division dominates for an era. Saw that with the Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots dynasty. Notice how when Tom Brady left and the Patriots fell off, it went from Patriots to the Chiefs dominating the AFC. That's not a coincidence. This was a dynasty handoff. That was a dynasty handoff. In exchange of power. The NFL needed a new golden boy. So it wound up being the Chiefs and Mahomes. With Andy Reid. And the boys. Yeah. It was an exchange of power. The NFL was done with the Patriots. So they needed somebody new. They needed a new face. So they chose the Chiefs. Yeah. This is why you see the same damn team over and over and over again appearing in the AFC in Super Bowls. Constantly, over and over and over again. Constantly. It never fails. So, when it comes to the NFC, it's very different though. The NFC is rotating through divisions. Like I told you before. They're rotating through. And repeat. Rotate and repeat. When it comes to the NFC, there's variety. They constantly picking other teams. When in AFC, they're picking the same team from the same division multiple times. It's rare where you see them pick another team from another division. That's when they pick the same team too many times. They got to go pick somebody else. They can't just keep picking the same team over and over and over. You got to pick somebody else. And this kind of ties back to my logo theory for Super Bowl 61. My logo theory for Super Bowl 61, if you invert it, I inverted it. It turns red and white. And to me, that streams or signals the Chiefs. It does. That signals the Chiefs. They really do. I think it's the Chiefs. I think it is. That ties back to my logo theory, like I've been saying. And I think they do go from east to back to the west and pick the Chiefs again. Remember, the Chiefs are the new dynasty team in the AFC. So do not be surprised. I think the NFL ain't done with the Chiefs yet. So expect to see the Chiefs possibly a little bit more. Just like how you've been seeing the Patriots a lot. So expect to see the Chiefs a lot. Expect to see the Chiefs a lot. Oh yeah, expect it. because I don't think the NFL is done with the Chiefs. This is just like probably like the beginning or mid phase of that dynasty. So expect to see the Chiefs possibly a little bit more. Now, the NFC. Oh, NFC starting from 2000 all the way to 2026. Since 2000, what the pattern actually shows: NFC West, most appearances. NFC East comes in second place for second most appearance. NFC South comes in third, and NFC North is rare. Since 2000 to 2026, only two teams from the NFC North made the Super Bowl: the Bears and the Packers. That's rare. And since then, there's been no other NFC North team that has made the Super Bowl since. The last time was 2011 with the Packers. That was it. So the pattern is West, East, West, South, South, East, West, North, East, West, South, North, East, West, 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 South, South, East, West, West, South, West, East, West, East, South. West. Yeah, very strange, ain't it? Also notice the pattern that I told you about the NFC South. You noticed that too, right? Remember, the Falcons went to the Super Bowl in '99, and after that, it was a 3-year gap before they hit the South again. It was a 3-year gap before they hit the South again with pow pow. Bucks, Panthers. After that, it was a 5-year gap. They hit the South again once. Then after that, it was a 5-year gap again. They hit the South twice. Pow pow. Then after that, it was a 3-year gap, and then hit the South again once. And now it's been 5 years. Every 3 to 5 years, they hit the South. So I'm expecting them to go right to the NFC South. This is fitting exactly what I've been saying for the past couple of videos. I've been saying. Also, side note, during free agency, the Saints and the Panthers been making moves during free agency. If y'all notice that, it's going to be very interesting what the Saints and the Panthers do when the draft come around. That's going to be very interesting because a lot of people not realizing that the Saints are building something. Nobody's not noticing that, but I'm noticing it. The Saints got a new coach. They're building something. They got a young quarterback. They're building something, and nobody's not noticing that. The Panthers are building something too. Y'all not noticing it, but I'm noticing. Nobody's expecting the Panthers to really do anything, but I'm expecting it based on the cycle patterns I've been seeing. No matter how many times I look at the cycle pattern, how many times I do it, I keep landing right back on the South, the NFC South, and the Panthers and the Saints. I keep landing right back on those two teams because the NFL is about to hit the South again. It just makes the most logical sense if you follow this pattern and this consistent pattern that you see. And it becomes easier to predict once you start like putting it all together. The cycles from each team and the patterns that you see in the Super Bowl appearances from the NFC. When you put all that together, it starts making sense. Yeah. I think the NFL has everybody on a structured cycle. On like a structured cycle where they pick teams from each division because everybody's on a cycle. Yeah. So the real pattern is the West dominates, the East pops in between, the South occasionally rises, and the North rarely appears. That's true. So it's West, East, South, North. That's the pattern. I'm expecting them to hit the North at some point because it's been too damn long since they've been to the North. They haven't been to the North in like, think 15 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. That's too long. I'm expecting them to hit the North after they hit the South because the North has to make an appearance at some point. So after they hit the South, I think they hit the North. And also, another thing that you should notice: every time they hit the South, NFC West team goes to the Super Bowl right before they hit the South. Right here, Rams didn't hit the South. The Cardinals, then they hit the South again. The Seahawks, then they hit the South twice. The 49ers, then they hit the South again. So, and now it's the Seahawks. Now I think they hit the South again. And I think this is a repeat of this. Look, Seahawks, Panthers, Seahawks, Panthers. Follow right behind the Panthers, the Saints. It's making too much sense. No matter how many times I look into it, it keep falling right back to the NFC South. No matter how many times I look at the pattern and the cycles from each division, because everybody's on a cycle. Every team in the NFC is on some type of pattern or on some type of cycle. And this comes back to this right here. This is following this. The exact same thing. And I keep landing right back on the South because the South is next. The South is next. The NFL has everybody on a cycle, on some type of pattern or cycle that it becomes consistent and it becomes easier for you to figure out. Because they've been hopping from here, they've been hopping from west to east for the past few years, for the past 5 years. It's been west east, west east, west east for the past few years now. So I think they hop to the South, which is most likely they do, based on the cycle patterns that I'm seeing. So the South has to be next. It just makes too much sense. I keep landing back on the South, no matter how many times I do it. That's why I keep landing that. On top of that, the Super Bowl logo, 60 logo, not 60, the 61 logo. Once you invert it, it's red and white, which signals Chiefs, but it also turns blue. That to me, that signals Panthers. And on top of that, the Panther cycle is right on schedule for Super Bowl 61. Right on schedule. Almost like it was meant to be. Yeah. So, if the pattern continues after a West heavy run, historically, the next division tends to be either South or East. But since multiple Eagles East injuries recently, we saw that with the Eagles in 2023 and 2025. That's recent. The division hasn't the division that hasn't appeared in a while is the NFC South and the North. So South goes first, and then I think the North follows right behind them. Just make too much sense. So think of it like this, right? Think of it like a big gambling wheel where a team lands on a W or an L, either a win or a loss. A wheel that's constantly rotating, right? That's constantly rotating, a win or a loss. So NFC East, West, South, North, East, West, South, and North again. Your team has to get lucky if you land on a win or a loss. This is like a gambling machine that you see in Vegas, right? It's either hit or miss. So your team has to get lucky either to land on a win or a loss. Simple as that. But tell me what y'all think in the comments below, and comment what y'all think. This is the end of the video. Y'all have a nice day.